Okay guys, to follow up, the last thing we're going to do here on our 3116 is injector height. In order to do injector height, what we're trying to do is when the engine is at a specified place, we're going to set the injectors, the height of this injector, okay, also called the timing dimension. Our engine right now, we spun it around and pinned it. We're at number 6. Okay, when we're at number 6, I can adjust injectors 1, 2, and 4. I can also do inlet valves 3, 5, and 6, and exhaust valves 2, 4, and 6. We'll do those at the same time. Okay, and then I'll need to spin the engine over again, 360 degrees, pin it again, and then I can do the rest of the injectors. Okay, so again, injector height. Don't have to worry about fuel shutoff solenoid here, as we had to before. We just need a few tools to do this: our setting fixture and our dial indicator. So right now, again, we're pinned number 6. So that means I can do 1, 2, and 4, and that's what we're going to do. Okay, so we go to number 1. My timing dimension for this engine is 65.10. Again, each timing dimension is specific for the engine. So I'm going to set it up. We're not going to be able to see this perfectly on the video, and that's fine. I'm going to set it up on the fixture. We'll first do it as if we had a preset button, because we do. When I'm on the fixture, I set it to 62 millimeters, and I would lift up, and I make sure the number goes down. So that's saying when it's on this fixture, my dimension is 62 millimeters. 62 is always going to be less than any that you need to measure, right? So in this case, I want to measure to 65.10. So then what I'll do, there's a battery place at the top so I don't hit any buttons. I'll put my thumb up there, and I'll put my middle finger on the back and hold that rod up. I'll then take and put that down and into place right on number 1. I want to be, there's a ledge on the back of the injector and then right on the top of the spring, and I'm at 65.16, so I'm very, very close. When I'm doing the fuel timing, my dimension must match what's in the book, and then I need to be plus or minus 0.2. We're going to try to get a lot closer than that, okay? Plus or minus 0.2. This is one setting that I can do where I can actually set it and look at it. I don't have to go back and recheck it. So I'm going to break that loose, and then I'm going to go to 65.10, and I'll usually get it close, and then as I tighten it, it'll come down a little bit. .12. I'm close enough, right? We got 0.2. I'm within 0.02. Okay? I'll take it off and I'll recheck that. And I can do 1, 2, and 4 here. I'll recheck that over here. What should it be over here? 62 even. I want to make sure I'm not hitting on the back. If I want to re-zero it, I can do that. Hit my preset button. Hit my preset button again. 62. Make sure I go down, right? 62. Again, here's another way to hold that, where I can just bring it on the back side. Need to hold that tip up somehow. Put that one on there. I'm at 65.08. Probably would let that go. Again, to make my adjustment here and here, right? Check it again. I'm good. I go to number 4. Make sure that that indicator tip is not hitting the spring. 65.08. I'm going to leave that one alone too. Okay? So those 3 are done. Before I rotate the engine around, let's look at what inlet valves I can do when I'm at number 6. So I can do 3, 5, and 6 inlet valves. Inlet valves 3, 5, and 6. So 1, 2, 3. Inlet is first. So I go on here, and again, I like using a bent feeler gauge, right? So I can go up and down. I'm not going to adjust that one, but how I would is here and here. Got me? And then I can do inlet valves 5 and 6. So I can actually take this off. I check number 5. Good. And 6. Good. And I can do exhaust valves 2, 4, and 6. So exhaust valves I flip over, 2, 4, and 6. Yeah, my 6 is too tight. That's good. It gives us a chance to adjust. What I'll do here is watch that feeler gauge, right? Put it out where it can tip. See it move up and down? And I'll just wait till it quits moving up and down when I go back and forth. There's my adjustment done there on that. Okay. One other thing I want to show you. Let's say that I get to a situation, right, where I do not have a preset button. So I get to a dial indicator where I don't have a preset button. So all I'm going to do is put it on the fixture, right? And when I'm on the fixture, instead of hitting my preset button, if I don't have one, I'm just going to 0 it, right? That's all I do. Now, when I pick up on the dial indicator, I notice on this one that it's a negative number when I pick up on it. Got me? So I 0 it when I'm on the fixture. I pick up on it, I'm a negative number. My dimension is 65.10. When I'm on this fixture, I'm at 62 and I've 0'd it there. So that means I need to read 3.1, right? 65.10 minus 62, 3.1. I'm on the fixture, I'm at 62. It's a negative when I lift up, so that means I'm going to read positive 3.1. So we'll go back and just recheck one injector to show you what we're doing. Again, I'm on number 6, so I can do 1, 2, and 4 injectors. I'll go back to number 1. I read 3.08 and, well, 3.02, excuse me. So I'm a little bit off. That's why I have that 0.2 dimension, right? Because I know that we were within before. You got what I'm saying? Okay, so what am I going to do next? I've done my inlet and exhaust valves that I can now, and I've done my injectors that I can. I'll set my stuff off to the side, and then I'm going to rotate the engine 360 degrees, pin it, and then do the remaining injectors and inlet and exhaust valves. Unpin the engine, rotate the engine an additional 720 degrees while watching it. Right? 2 reasons for that. Number 1 is a lot of people leave the pin in. That creates a mess. Okay? Number 2 is I want to make sure that all my push rods, when I do this from beginning to end, this is a good chance that all my push rods are seated. Then I remove the chain wrench, then I can start the engine. Those last 2 things are important. Pin out, 720, remove chain wrench. You leave the chain wrench on there, it makes a lot of racket. Make sense? Mm-hmm. From here on out, after you do your first rotation, you're going to start out by taking off number 1 and number 2, doing sync. When number 1 and 2 off, do fuel setting. Put those back on, your rock arms back on, do injector height, run it. So in other words, you don't have to run in between each time after the first time. Yeah, be real life. Okay?